Hello, and welcome to this tour of the free resources that are available on our edibleschoolyard.org website. So, my name is Russell, and I will be leading this virtual tour, and thanks for joining us. So, to get started, essentially, there are four different types of free resources that are available for folks, and I'll be walking through those today. The four are our curriculum, including our resource library, training resources, the network map of edible education programs, and then lastly, Edible Education 101. And there's a lot of other great information and resources on our website, and certainly encourage everyone to explore those as well. And for the purpose of this recording, we'll be focusing on those four categories. So let's get going. So I'll go up to our work and then click on Edible Education Curricula. And this takes us to a page where we have listed out all of our most recent curriculum that we've developed over the last 5 years or so. And those curricula are Interdependence in the Garden Ecosystem, Understanding Organic Connections to Action in the Garden Classroom, Cooking with Curiosity, Know, Sow, Grow, and then lastly, not a curriculum, but a workbook for teachers on deepening student engagement in edible education settings. So very much encourage everyone to explore these in depth, and we'll take a little bit of a look about how to do that. Each one of these has to do with some form of edible education, be it specifically to gardening, cooking, introduction to gardening, and also back up top here, this is a gardening curriculum that is aligned to next generation science standards. So for the purpose of this recording, I'm going to walk us through what it looks like to actually interact with this curriculum. And to access it. So I'll go ahead and click on this button that says View Interdependence in the Garden Ecosystem. And that takes me to this page where essentially it's the landing page for this curriculum. And each of the other curriculums has a similar landing page like this. So we have the title of the curriculum at the top, the summary, a button to download the full curriculum introduction. I'll click that, and so you can just see what that looks like. So here is the document itself that you can read read here, and then also download and print out if you like. So I'll exit out of that. And then below that is the series of lessons themselves. So this is the lesson series, and there are 13 lessons essentially in this curriculum. So what it looks like for me to actually view one of these lessons is I will click on this, Project Introduction, and here's the first lesson of the series. So here's a summary of this individual lesson. You can see that it's a garden classroom setting, about 45 minutes for 6th through 8th grades. And we've also created different tags for this lesson that will be relevant when we look at the resource library. So I'll return to this in just a minute. And then you can download the full lesson plan itself. I'll click on that, and you can see this pops up. And then I'll exit out of that. Key vocabulary to highlight, and then specific teaching notes that we wanted to highlight for educators as they teach this lesson. And just in terms of orienting to this page, you'll see that this is lesson 1 of 13, and you can click on the next lesson button here if you want to easily see the subsequent lesson in the series. And you can click back to that landing page for the curriculum by clicking on this Interdependence in the Garden Ecosystem link. And that link is also at the bottom here, and you can click previous lesson. So I'll just click on this, and here I am back at the landing page for this curriculum. And each of those other curriculum, as I mentioned before, is formatted in this way for you to see the summary, the full lesson introduction, or curriculum introduction rather, the lesson series, and yeah, so everything for you to access like that. So with that, I'll take us to the resource library. So whereas that page, Edible Education Curricula, is our attempt to list out and present our most recent curriculum that we've developed, the Edible Schoolyard has been developing lessons for decades now, and all of our lesson and curriculum is available in the resource library here, as well as a few lessons and curriculum from partner organizations. And so there's dozens and dozens of lessons here. These are all, you can see this is like essentially like tile format where you can like click in to an individual lesson and again orient to what curriculum it's a part of, what lesson series, what number lesson of the series it is, and all the other information and resources that we covered just momentarily ago. But the best way to interact with the resource library is to make use of these filtering tools on the left side. You can also search for a lesson title up here in the search bar. And essentially we have these different types of filters for you to be able to identify what lesson or what type of lesson you're seeking and see if there's a match in our resource library. So I'll click on place of learning. We have grade level. We have curricular area, edible education topic, instructional approach, intended audience. And then in addition to lessons and curricula, we have some program development resources and admin tools, so such as fundraising and budgeting, kind of getting started resources, volunteer management, and also organizational culture development resources as well. So my recommendation is to very much try out these different filtering tools to find different lessons that you are seeking and that would be useful for your program. So just as a demonstration, I'll click on Kitchen Classroom, and that'll pull up all of the lessons that are tagged or tied to a kitchen classroom environment. So, and then I can, look even more if I wanted to for maybe a history and social science and social studies, types of lessons. So that brings me these lesson sets that you can explore, and then sometimes there's multiple pages that you can explore. So yeah, my recommendation also is to mostly try to keep it to one or like two, about two filters per search. Any more than that starts to create a kind of an overabundance of lessons that sort of like brings in all the different lessons. So if you want to find a really refined search, my recommendation is to do about 1 to 3 different filter options here. And then you can clear the filters if you want to start over, like that. So that's to show you how to utilize our resource library. And so moving on to the second category of resources available on the website, which include training resources. So essentially training programs, resources for building capacity in gardening and cooking education settings. And so on this page, I'll scroll down. You can see, of course, any upcoming training events that we have. And below that, we have our training archive, where we have posted the recordings of different virtual trainings that we've hosted over the last few years. So each one of these different line items is a different set of virtual recordings. One of them was actually not recorded, but you can see the program that we offered in 2021. But otherwise, all the other ones here provide some virtual recordings for you to explore. So I'll click in on most recent virtual training series from 2023. And here is where you can scroll down and see all the different virtual training sessions that we hosted. And you can watch the session themselves. You can see the associated resources with that session. And yeah, so a lot of really rich, engaging virtual sessions here for you to explore at your own opportunity. So yeah, so this virtual training series, we had a lot on student engagement and social and emotional learning in gardening, cooking classrooms, making academic standards engaging, and I'll scroll back up and go back to the training page, and just to show you another, like from 2 years ago, as of this recording at least. Here we have another series of virtual training sessions um, that offer sessions on exploring garden systems and structures and kitchen classroom system and structures, another session on student engagement, one on fundraising, um, program development with community partners, family engagement and cooking demonstration strategies, and a few talks from our founder, Alice Waters, as well. So, yeah, so very much encourage and invite everyone to explore these virtual training sessions at your leisure. And with that, I'll move us on to the third category of resources that are available, which is the network map of edible education programs. And so this network map is a interactive map of a wide variety of programs and organizations from across the world who have opted in to join our network map here and to have themselves be a part of this map, all with the purpose of increasing their program's visibility, of course, but then ultimately helping to foster more connections between programs, between folks seeking to get involved with organizations that may be near them or maybe that they're interested because they found out about from this network map or from somewhere else. And so to utilize the map, you can scroll in and you can scroll in like that or click this plus button and find a program that you'd like to learn more about. So maybe I'll click on this, and once I click on that, it brings up the program here, and I can then click into that and see some information about the program, kind of high-level info, and the address where it's located as well. So I'll click back, or I'll go back to this tab. And you can use these filtering tools, city, state, grade level, country even, to find different organizations. See, look up different locations and see what organizations may be there that you could reach out to. So oftentimes there's address information, and then sometimes there's, depending on what the people submitted when they joined the network map, there may be like a phone number or an email address as well. Maybe I'll click into this and see if this is, oh yeah, sometimes they have a website. You can see their website. So, 404 not found. Oh well. So, but even still, they have the address information here. So, yeah, so wanted to offer this as a resource as well. If you're interested in joining the network map, we will soon be relaunching that functionality to opt in and join and map your program on this map. And in the meantime, if you want more information, please email us at training@edibleschoolyard.org, and we can provide some more information. So last category of resources available in terms of, free resources available on our website is this Edible Education 101. And this is a lecture series that our founder, Alice Waters, helped start at UC Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, and has been taking place for essentially over the last decade or so, I want to say, actually. And we have the last, six, I know there's 5 here, but including this one, there's 6 different years worth of lectures that are posted here. And essentially what EE 101, Edible Education 101 is, it's a lecture series that invites experts from across different parts of the food system to come and present about their work. And so these may be farmers, they may be chefs, they may be activists, authors, government leaders, or business leaders, and coming to share their perspective and their work in the field of food systems. And so this provides a lot of incredibly rich like conversation and presentations over the last 5 or so years. And so this is and including different types of associated resources that went along with that specific lecture. So very much encourage everyone to take some time to explore these. So you can download course syllabus to see sort of the general overview of what the theme courses that year's course theme was and who the speakers were. So, but certainly incredibly like insightful and valuable explorations and conversations to be viewed here. So we very much encourage everyone to take some time with exploring these. That wraps up our tour of the free resources on edibleschoolyard.org. I did want to highlight one last page, which is our stories and events page up here. And this is our blog where we share some of the latest from us in terms of lessons that we've been teaching, different events that we've hosted, and also upcoming events as well. So a lot of the latest information and news about what we've been up to can be found here. And so very much encourage everyone to take a look at this when you have a chance. And of course, there's a few other pages as well I won't go into on this recording, but you can learn about our different program sites in Berkeley, in Stockton, our newest program, which is the Alice Waters Institute for Edible Education. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email us at training@edibleschoolyard.org. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks so much for joining for this tour. We look forward to seeing you online at an upcoming event and hearing from you soon. Thanks.